Hey traders, David Frost, My Strategic Forecast. You're here for another episode of Common Sense Market Analysis. Today is Wednesday, February 19, 2025. We're looking at a daily chart of the SPY or Spider, which is the proxy for the S&P 500. What do we have on that docket today? Well, we have another set of new highs as the trend is your friend above all the moving averages. There is and continues to be nothing wrong with this particular tape or chart while she's around and at new highs above all the moving averages in the uptrend, which is, in fact, your friend until your shit gets thrown out the window. Now that we got that out of the way, today what you're going to find in terms of this video, inside the numbers, the swing trading stuff, all that stuff, is one of those you gotta be kidding me about the numbers today. That will all become clear in a moment. Hold your horses. Let's start with, has there been any material change on the chart from yesterday? And the answer is no. She's still grinding higher. The story remains the same. Weekly chart, same routine. Grinding higher, new highs. So the question is, even in this slow market, can you make money whether it's on a swing trading or day trading basis? And the answer is abso-freaking-lutely. How about Urban Outfitters? Let's swing over there for a second. This is a daily chart. This was something that came up in the live room today. What happens is we have stocks on the move that are posted before the opening bell. We'll go over those in a few moments. We also have things that are moving, but they can't be zeroed in on until after the opening bell. So when things are moving after the opening bell, we take a look at a list, we do a scan, and we say, hey, what's moving, what's coming into support? Well, we came up with Urban Outfitters today. What was the number in Urban Outfitters? 54.78. Check this out. What was the low in this candle? 54.79. They came back later on, spiked it, ripped it back up in the other direction. This was the number today. This was a support number in Urban Outfitters. We had some participation in the live trading room. URBN. URBN. How about something else that popped up? I get this email from a member today, real life example of using the magic calculator with a monthly pivot low to find resistance at 613.14. Area bought 613 spider calls, ODT, meaning 0 day to expiration, and scored a double. Thanks, John. How you doing? Sends me a picture of what this thing looked like on his chart. Looks a little complicated, but you get the point. How about the Lazy Swing Trader Automagical Algo System? Another profit target hit today. Entry 126.09. Exit today. Exit alert sent to members today 137.05. It is absolutely a risk-free, emotionless trade. Lazy Swing Trader Automagical Algo System strikes again. No shortage in toilet paper for the swing trader. How about this one? Trader in the room goes, do you have anything on platinum? We bring up the chart of platinum. I provide the numbers. 984.50, that's your buy area. Traders take platinum on the long side, 984.50. It turns around, it goes back in the other direction. Nice trade. This is a good day trade. This is what it looks like on a 5-minute chart. They make a low, they make a higher low, and they go grind up the rest of the session. Funny how that works. Platinum, it doesn't matter what the chart is. Could be platinum, could be oil, could be Kimberly-Clark, could be Comcast, could be IBM, could be Netflix, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla. Who gives a damn what it is? Can we make money? And the answer is yes, we can. Live trading room, inside the numbers. Lazy Swing Trader Automagical Algo. We are making money, period, full stop. How about a 5-minute chart of Meta? Hey, Dave, do you have a number in Meta? Sure. It's got to be a spike of 700. Let's go with 697 and change. They come into 697, give or take. What do? They spike it by a few pennies, and they rip it back up in the other direction well above 700. Here's a high right here of 706, 707 from an entry of 697. Live room, real-time situation. Do you think traders are making money in the live room? I'll let you think about that for a minute and answer it to yourself. All these happened today. This is only part of why I say you gotta be kidding me with the numbers today. But wait, there's more. Let's get down to the numbers. The pivot today was coming in at 609 85. What does that mean? That means the pivot's important. That means first time, best time, you generally get a bounce off the pivot. That means she's bullish above and she can leak below. All those things are true as it relates to a pivot. 609.85. Here's a 5-minute chart of the spider. Right of the vertical is today's activity. You can see pretty clearly right here what happened at the pivot. Look at this. First hit of the pivot, she bounces, gives you a little bit of a base hit. She falters back and forth, gyrates around the pivot, and then takes off, comes back for a retest, takes off again. The pivot or above, she is bullish. Period. Full stop. That's information that certainly would be valuable to know before the day got started. Don't you think? When was this information put on the board? At 0:30. We don't have to worry about the lower stuff, but let's worry about the upper stuff. Above, and she stays bullish for the former highs from yesterday, and 611.89, which is the next number up in the sequence. 611.89. How you doing? There's 611.89. She hits it, spikes it by a few pennies, pulls back, gets over it later, comes back for a retest, and we'll get to the what happened later in a moment. Hold your horses. 611.89 was nothing but a magic calculator number. She was attracted to it. It's magnetic. She reached it. It's a target. And she reacted from it. It's overhead resistance. All those things are true. It pays to know your numbers before the day gets underway, isn't it? All this stuff was at 0:30. So pause the video, read the notes, go back to the chart, and double check the work. What we're saying here is, what's the scoop? Let's narrow things down a little bit. Where's the trade? 609.85 is the pivot. 608.85 is the next number down in the sequence. And guess what? Which makes 609.85 down $1, 608.85, a zone of support for a bounce back in the other direction type of place. What happened in that zone? She bounced back above, providing a trading opportunity. She bounced back from basically the top end of the zone. It was a bounce back type of place. Did traders make money in the live room based on that information? And, by the way, inside the numbers. And the answer, short answer is, of course they did. Pause the video, read the notes, go back to the chart, and double check the work. We will bring up a couple of other things in here of knowledge basis. 611.89, we know about that one. And guess what? What happens if they get above 611.89? Well, we have a table of numbers. So if we have a table of support numbers and we go to resistance number 1 was 611.89. So we knew that at 0:30. What's resistance number 2? How about 613.25? Once again, how you doing? How do you know 613.25 was the next number up in the sequence? Is this voodoo? Is there a crystal ball involved? Is there a vampire involved? Are there little dolls involved where you prick them with a pin? 613.25. Now look at this chart. Go over the other markets in this chart. Put some numbers on your chart, on your charts, and see what happened at some of these numbers. They won't all get hit every day, but what I'm giving you are numbers that are targets, they're magnetic, and likely first time, best time price will react at these numbers. These are opportunities waiting for you each and every day. High of day, 613.23. There are no accidents nor coincidences in the market. Period. Full stop. What about Camp IWM? Finished down 1/3% by the end of the day. My favorite market leading indicator was red today. So it's a divergence from the S&P 500 or the spiders. They're still stymied at the convergence of the 50 and 20 period moving average. No material change from yesterday. We could simply just move it along. We need another day's worth of information at a minimum. Now, my second favorite market leading indicator, but a number one canary in the coal mine, is what? The folks down at the transportation department. How about down 1.5% today, or 257 points? That's a shot across the bow, but they are above all the moving averages. Trend is your friend, but what we also have is potentially, we have a set of lower highs. You have a high here, okay? Then you have a lower high, and then you have a potential lower high right over here. One more time. We'll see how that pans out. If they stay above all the moving averages, the trend remains bullish. The concept remains bullish versus bearish. But what you do have, and we're not going to lose sight of the weekly chart, is you have a different positioning on the chart. You have lower highs, but you are above all the moving averages. It is counter to each other. It will resolve itself. This does not look like the spider. You have a divergence with the S&P in form of a visual perspective on the chart. We need more information until or unless she gets above the high of this breakdown candle, 16,704 and change. There is, as they say in the trading parlance, no dice. What about the Q people? Any material change here? Up 15 cents. That's a rounding error. We'll call that flat. She's a little bit extended from home base. Home base is the 20-period moving average. Doesn't like to get too far from it. Around the old former highs. No revelation, no material change on the chart. So what we're going to do is simply move it along. We have no material new information to go by. Going with the XLF, again, above all the moving averages. Same routine as the Qs just now, hovering around new highs above all the moving averages. No material change on the chart. But wait, there's more. How about the SMH, which was up a little over $1 today, almost 0.5%, and she continues to do what? She continues to grind higher into no man's land. We talked about, and if she got above these moving averages and started getting above this important pivot right over here, then she would begin to grind higher into no man's land to do what? Complete or fill this gap up here. That's what she's heading for at present. Period. Full stop. It's not magic. It's not a secret. It's not stuff nobody knows about. That's what she's doing until proven otherwise. Same routine as last night. SMH, Smash Mouth, Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. Have I told you how much I appreciate each and every one of you? Without you, these videos, they're not possible. That is true and accurate information. We're pulling the ripcord here today. I'm David Frost, My Strategic Forecast. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Common Sense Market Analysis.